what we did in the last 5 years was to plan very well and to upgrade even existing plans. We made some plans. No doubt the previous administrations to had plans. So we review those plans and try to make sure that they are relevant with the present trend of things and present situations. So, and we equally had to establish new baselines in the last 4 years. And lucky enough, we are back in government, and this is the time to execute all the plans. And what we've done before now were mere palliatives, and they were mere testing the grounds, and call it troubleshooting, or call it a pilot project. So right now we are pressing the throttle, and you're going to start seeing things imagined in the very, very fast rate in Ogun State now. The waste management, I can assure you, you're going to see a cleaner Ogun State. And like I said, and I've been saying it, our aspiration is to be declared the cleanest state in Nigeria, and we are not relenting in that. Despite, don't mind the recent um, disruption that we had in our service recently, where our service providers, revolted slightly because of increase. They responded to the increase in diesel, and justifiably so too. We need to be sincere with them. Justifiably, we have to adjust our rates, and that we are already doing, and making sure that things are back on the track. So, if you look at Ogun State in the last 4 or 5 years, the mileage we acquire in waste management is appreciable and highly significant, if you're going to be sincere, except that waste management is a job that has a negative appreciation. So to say, when you're making progress, people notice, but people remain quiet. They're apprehensive. And until the day when you don't do it, that's when you see people shouting. Now, yes, we don't used to see refuse here again. Why are you having paper here? And by the time there's no more refuse, or they don't see litters. We don't used to see litters there. Why are we having litters there? So at times, occasionally, when people respond in such a way to use a call for action, that look, people are noticing. They may not be praising you. It's a job that you don't even want people to praise you when you're doing it. Okay, but if you want to be objective enough, there's a paradigm shift from what it used to be to what it is right now. So waste management we're going to accelerate our plans, and talking about conversion, which is the ultimate, our flagship in waste management, circular economy, waste conversion. Most of our waste, we're going to make sure that we divert them to recycling. So we're going to have a lot of recycling initiatives going on in Ogun State. Not minding the fact that Ogun State is the capital of recycling in Nigeria now. Anyway, most of the recyclables from all states in Nigeria ends up in Ogun State, because we have the largest recycling plants in Nigeria. The aggregates of those recycling plants, for example, for plastics, we have about 4 or 5 big mega plants that are recycling plastic in Ogun State, and average of about 1,200 metric tons of plastic waste in Ogun State get recycled daily. And I'm talking recycling, not picking or gathering, recycled. All right, plastics are being recycled, over 1,200 tons. For paper, we have about 3 or 4 companies. Among them, you have over 1,000 tons on daily basis. And for ferrous and non-ferrous metals in Ogun State, we have over 1,500 tons on daily basis. All these metals ends up in Ogun State on daily basis. So you have these major investors that are here in Ogun State. The advantage of closeness to Lagos, where appreciable recyclables in Lagos ends up in Ogun State for recycling. And most of these recycled materials, they end up being exported out of Nigeria. So closeness to the seaports. So that is what gave us the geographical advantage for those positioning, and for nice policy, investor-friendly policy of government. Those are the kind of things that give us this relative advantage for most of these industries. So talking about waste management, yes, we're going to press on the throttle and make sure that most of our industries, we reward those who are doing reintegration, regeneration of their waste into their production lines. So they get rewarded. okay, for that. They get incentives. And those who are not doing it, those who are not even showing signs of doing it, they get a slight kind of a reprimand for that. So make sure that all our industries, they key in into our waste management policy and program. That is one key thing. When then you look at open defecation, where we have 3 local governments in Ogun State have been declared open defecation free. Well, talking about dump sites in Ogun State, we have 11 dump sites that are operational, but we're presently upgrading to landfill sites. All right, so we have 2 locations presently that will be upgraded to the landfill sites, and we have partnership with investors who are going to do this. We have one coming up at Ogiri, and we have a second landfill site coming up at Orimerumo along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And that one is likely to serve both Lagos and Ogun State because Lagos is running out of space, and the only thing we can do is to have a joint action within the border towns between Ogun and Lagos, and the border towns are probably going to host that facility that can support development of the 2 states. Medical waste, healthcare waste management generally in Ogun State, yes, we've not made appreciable progress as I will really want. And like I told you, what we did in the last 4-5 years was to test ground and test waters about it. So we have issues with the financial viability of this because most of the hospitals are struggling with patients, and we know what healthcare program is for now. It has suffered a lot of setbacks, and this has affected the project so far in Ogun State. We have many of the hospitals or clinic in Ogun State. Many patients are actually preferring going to the traditional homes than going to the hospitals. So the hospitals are struggling to pick up their bills. So when it comes to healthcare management, so we're trying to see how we have social balancing when it comes to financing healthcare waste management in Ogun State. So it's still work in progress also.